Hello friends, my name is Žeka, and I still travel around tropical islands with element of fishing, hunting, spearfishing and bushcraft, testing myself in survival conditions. In today's video I would like to go back a couple of years ago and plunge with you into that atmosphere when there was a calm sky over Ukraine and I was just starting my life as a survivalist. I went to a small forest near the village where my grandparents lived to test my strength and skills in survival conditions. Before I go on a serious trip to the tropical islands and start the story with which you are already familiar. Well, let's go back to the past and you will have the opportunity to evaluate my skills, since in this situation I will survive with only one knife. I collect the necessary equipment for a filming and went to the forest on my way to collect dry grass. It will come in handy for me. The forest is located on the shore of a small lake right here. When I was still very young and as soon as I learned to walk, with my dad and grandfather I went fishing, and for the first time it was here that I caught the first fish. I was so happy and threw fishing rod over my head somewhere in the garden into potatoes, and then it took me 10 minutes for finding it there. After that I fell in love with fishing. But this is a very useful thing for survivalists, for all the difficult of pronouncing this name for me, but nevertheless it is a very cool thing. Right now I will explain to you why and how it can be very useful to you. First of all, cattail can be very useful as tinder for making a fire. This cattail flower is very quickly and very easily ignited and charcoal is formed. This is number one. Of course, I take it with me. Now I will show you how it can still be useful to me. Look here. Add one more, I will show you an example. Take a cattail, but it is desirable to find it as large as possible. But now it is still early spring, so it is not yet ripe at all. Put it out of the ground, and now I need to wash it. And now I peel like a normal banana. And the soft inner part remains. This fragment was superfluous, but this one can eat. It very tasty. You know what it looks like to me. Very much like a sweet potato. Even a little sweet, and there is an aroma of some kind of cucumber or melon. It's a good source of sugar, a good source of starch, which means it's got carb and fiber, which means it's a good survival option. Well, the third option, how can I use cattail for my survival, is to get its roots. Let your hand go deeper and look for the roots. You need to find the root underwater with your hand. This is how the cattail roots looks like. It can be eaten both raw and ready-made. It has a lot of cellulose and calories, which is useful for survivalists. With the help of a knife, a particle of it is very easy, like an ordinary potato. I will wash it from the ground and take it with me. On my way, I collected all these useful facts that in the future I can use to make a fire. I will try to make a magnifying glass and start a fire. Although it is already spring, it is quite cold and strong wind is blowing. So let's see what I managed to collect. First of all, I have dry grass, as well a cattail flower. This will be my tinder to start the fire. There are 2 roots of a cattail, one eaten raw, and the second baked in a fire. And there is the glass bottle. With it I am trying to make an imitation of a magnifying glass in order to make a fire. I move further towards the dense oak forest. There are a lot of broken bottles here. I think I can pick up the right piece for myself. With my Swiss Army knife, I will peel the cattail root. It is cleaned just like a potato. You need to get to the edible part. Now let's taste it. There is a lot of starch inside. A little stuck in the teeth, but it's okay. I will brush my teeth. There is a lot of starch there, which means a lot of carbohydrates. There is also sugar and fiber, which means that there is a lot of energy for further survival. You don't need to completely eat the root. You need to chew it well with your teeth, but these fibers that remain then are thoroughly washed in water. You can make a rope out of them. Look, I will take 3 separate threads, and with a regular knot I will tie them together. I tighten the knot, and they are now fixed together at the top. And now you twist it like this. Twist it again. Twist it together. And then on the other hand, we also tie it with a regular knot, and it turns out just such a small rope or a fishing line. This forest is mostly made up of large oak trees that are very old. Once, as a child, I came here on a bicycle in search of the largest deer beetles and rhinoceros beetles. At the time they looked like dinosaurs to me.